Morning, everybody. Sean Allison here, coming at you with Bo Machado, Captain Bo, Dr. Bo, Anime Titles. Got Amy Kristan, sun landed here, getting blinded by the sun. Got Money Sugar back here. Got Pro Crew here. All right, so here's the sonar. We're at 125 feet of water. Bottom here, solid red line. These are all fish. There's a thermocline at about 90. You can see a hazy layer in here, but all of this stuff, this is all snapper and fish below the boat. The longer we fish here, the more these fish will work up to the surface, and we'll literally start hooking them probably right under the boat here. Aaron's already can't make it to the bottom with his jig before he's got fish hooked up. All right, rigging another mullet here. Got my 100-pound mono. Got a swivel there, a couple of weights to slide, another swivel so that can free slide a little bit. 100-pound mono, big circle, second circle in the back here. Ouch. I want to take those, always take those scales off the tip of the hook there, but live mullet for snapper, here we go. Sometimes it's easier to leave the rod in the holder versus trying to pull it out. With these circle hooks, you just got to come tight, you don't have to jerk it. Sometimes it's easier to leave it in the holder and just start turning the handle till you get a good bow in that rod. You know you hook your fish, then you can pull the rod out and finish and continue fighting your fish from there. But a lot of times it's time critical. When that fish has got that bait in his mouth, he's going to pull on it for a minute, feel that resistance, he's going to let it go. Sometimes you get in there, get on that hook and pull it tight, and it'll catch him before he can spit it. So there's a benefit to trying to be proactive at trying to hook them once they're bounce on it like they are. They're just kind of mouthing it and playing with it. I'll wait till it gets a pretty good little steady pressure on it where it keeps a constant bow. When that happens, I'm just going to turn the handle as fast as I can.
Are y'all using whole menhaden or cut menhaden?
I'm using a live mullet.
Just cut menhaden.
There we go. Nice red snapper on live mullet. He looks like he's a good solid 22, 23.
Try not to keep anything that's not over 22.
He's 25.
25.
Nice.
You want to put him in, or you want to let him?
I would keep him. Put him in the box.
Why don't you put mine? Big hammerhead coming your way. Coming right at you. Right under you.
Oh yeah, see him. About a 8-foot hammerhead. He's after my snapper. Coming up. Oh, I'm being chased by a hammerhead right here.
Let him chase you a little bit. Let him chase you, Sean.
Yeah, that's not the same one. He's only probably 40 pounds. That other one was 80 to 100.
Let him chase you, Sean. Keep right here.
I think I lowered that right into a fish's mouth. I just went slack. He's swimming up with it. Oh, there he is. Ooh, good fish. Ooh, really good fish. Real good fish. This might be that shark. He's coming up. I think I got that shark.
Really?
It's coming up. Look. Oh man, he's taking line.
You got him on wire?
No, mono.
Oh.
But it's a circle hook. But yeah, I'm willing to bet this is that hammer. Oh man, he's pretty heavy.
That tube right there over here.
So we saw a couple of hammerheads today. We got here. We had about an 8-footer. Follow a fish up to the boat. Just a while ago, I had another little smaller one, about a 40-pounder, come up. Just had a live bait down about halfway, trying to catch snapper, and just had a pretty good run, obviously. I'm pretty sure it's one of those hammerheads. It sure does not feel like a snapper. Plus, he's coming up. The snapper generally won't come up toward the surface. They usually dig and head for the bottom. Sharks are a little more unpredictable. I mean, maybe they do tend to run toward the surface. They don't usually fight it out on bottom like snapper will. May have to get around the anchor line here in a minute. I don't want this fish to swim over the anchor line. Coming up out here. I got color on the surface out there. Woo, buddy. I don't like being up here near this anchor line. If he gets under it, he's going to jack me up. But I ain't got a lot of leverage on him. Just lost him. Just come off. I don't know if he took the hook or pulled it, but just lost him. Took the, nope, pulled it. Pulled the hook on him. Well, that's fishing. Great thing about circle hooks, you hook them in the corner mouth, they don't always bite through the line. Try again. Fish on. Ooh, ooh, another shark, I think. Good fish, whatever it is. Oh yeah, he's decent. Not a monster, it's not the hammerhead, but he's got some fight in him. Oh man, he definitely got some fight in him. Not really taking line, but he sure is pulling hard. Feels like a big snapper.
We need some big snapper. We ain't caught a single 28 or 30.
That's a decent one. He's probably 23, 24. Yeah, that one's going in the box for sure. I bet he's 24, 25. Let me do this one, Bo. All right, so caught my red snapper here. You kind of use this Carolina rig. Got my hook, nice circle hook, right? Good thing about circle hooks is they always end up catching right in the corner of the mouth coming out. They'll catch the edge of the mouth coming out. Instead of it hooking them in the throat and then the line's rubbing their teeth and then they bite through the line, you get a better hookup this way. It's a better secure connection here than the soft skin in the mouth. Plus, he can't bite through the line. Same thing for sharks. I hooked a shark a while ago on this same setup. And the only reason he didn't bite through it is because it hooks him in the corner of the mouth like this. Right, so great tool right here. I use the heck out of this thing. One of the best tools I've ever had. Call these hook outs, right? So we're getting the hook out. Got a little slot here, angled. You just grab that hook, squeeze it to where the point's pointing away from you, and just give it a little yank usually, and it just pulls it right out. Real great tool here. Right now, this guy's big enough. I'm not going to throw him back. We're going to keep him. This guy's an eater here. He's 24 inches. He's a nice fish. You see how he's really bloated here. He's real fat right here. He has an air bladder. As you bring him up in the water, that air bladder tends to expand because of the lessening water pressure. They hit the surface and they float. Normally, if you're going to release them, if you just throw them back like this, they just float off and die on the surface and get eaten by dolphins or sharks. So you vent them. This is a venting tool. It's just a simple needle where that air bladder is expanded. You're just going to take it, go between the scales here. You can kind of hear the air coming out and squeeze all that air out and then throw them over immediately, and then they'll be able to get below the surface and survive. If you don't do that again, you just throw them, they tend to float off and die. Right, but again, nice fish, nice red snapper. That guy's a keeper there. That's a good eater there. Mwah. So you got a good fish on, Aaron?
Yeah.
Is this on your jigs again?
Yeah, I was slow pitching the bottom and dropping it after I came up maybe about 2 feet. And then dropped it back down and just getting it.
I can hear him peeling some drag over here. I think you got, it sounds like you got a pretty good fish on. Like he's got a lot of weight to him there.
Alright, I'm at my top shot now, so.
How long's your top shot?
It's 25 feet.
Okay, so he's right under the boat. Watch your line. He is on. Oh, you're hung.
Landon, come on, Landon. Come on. Get him off. Come on.
Back up. Back. Come to your left. Come to your left.
Too fast.
Get him in. All right. Motor ahead a little bit. Motor ahead.
24 and a quarter.
Yeah, he's good.
Wow, Aaron. What you got? You got one lure with 2 hooks on it, and you caught 2 fish on 1 jig. Wow. Those are some hungry fish, I guess. So we got a red snapper. This one here is a blue runner.
And he used both hooks on this one.
These are good for bait. These are good to eat. Wow. Good job, Aaron. One hook, 2 fish. Awesome.
It's a strong rod. Definitely a strong rod.
It's a snapper. Hey, 2 again. That's twice you've done that. 2 times in a row. 2 fish on 1 lure. That's crazy. So what happened, Aaron? You're slow pitch jigging and you got a snapper.
Yeah, and then,
I think
and then it just started taking it.
I think your snapper's
couldn't stop it.
defective. I would ask for another one. Let me get my landing.
Man, I just felt the rod tip just going, man. I couldn't put any stopping to it.
All right, so woo, the bane of snapper fishermen and just fishermen in general. Clearly, there's that's a shark. That's his mouth right there. Where he came up and took him a bite, tried to take. You know, almost got the whole thing off. Look at that. It's very common to pull up half a fish, but he didn't quite get his half. I'm sure he'll be back for it though.
Taxman almost got me.
Yeah,
but he's gonna have him.
What a shame.
Rainy dive here. What you got going on, Monty?
Monty hooked up something over here, give him a little tussle. Water's got a very green color to it. Right now we're somewhere in the neighborhood of 25 miles offshore. Water's pretty clear, but it is green, it's not blue. Here he comes, that's a red snapper. Nice.
Pretty good fish though, right?
It is, it's definitely diveable up here on the surface.
Look at that monster.
No, that's a good one there, Monty. He's probably a good 24, 25.
Beautiful.
Monty's still got his hammer on here. He's got a big hammerhead on here, and another one free swimming still right out here. About 100-pounder.
Interested in whatever Monty's got going on.
You might have to go under that anchor, Monty.
Than my Walmart reels.
Here he comes. Another red snapper.
Oh, baby.